And here is your host, Miss Cilla Bland.
To another blind date, the show that gives you more dates than there are on the calendar. And we've got 3 likely lads here waiting to be picked by a right likely lass. Let's go and meet them. Come on.
Yeah, that's all right, I don't mind.
You're in my spot.
That's nice. That's right, it's nice.
Hello, number 1.
Hello.
Tell us your name and where do you come from?
My name's Terry and I'm from Hertfordshire.
I beat you to it that time. Terry, what do you do for a living? You look absolutely smashing, doesn't he, girls?
Yes! I'm a builder.
You're a builder?
Yeah.
So you build houses and things?
Yeah, mainly extensions, conversions, things like that.
Oh, just talk amongst yourselves. I've got something to do with that, you know.
Just say the word.
Oh,
it's a
yes.
pleasure.
What are your hobbies, by the way?
Football, boxing, snooker, mainly sport, and a busy social life.
What about you, number 2? I know it's hot in the studio. I've got my sleeves rolled up too.
Well, it's the sort of Miami Vice look, apparently. It's the fashion sleeve. It seems to waste an awfully good jacket, but it is the fashion.
You look more like a Miami Vice.
Miami?
Come on, number 2. They don't even know your name out there.
Well, my name's Martin, and I come from Brighton.
What do you do in Brighton?
Well, I'm actually a sales manager for a publishing company, but I don't work in Brighton. I travel all around the country doing it.
Have you met any nice young ladies on your visits all over the country?
Yes, there's a few working some of the places I call on, the wholesalers. It's greeting cards we actually print.
What about you, number 3? What's your name and where do you come from?
My name's Nick and I'm from Croydon. I work for an upmarket yachting publication.
Oh, yachting?
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do then?
I sell the advertising for them. It's for yachts between 30,000 and as big as you like.
Oh, if you're going to have a yacht, have a big one.
Go for it, sir.
Do you have a boat at all?
I crew on a 60-foot Nicholson occasionally. So I get used to it. The rest of the ladies.
Well, I hope you're lucky tonight. Indeed, I hope all 3 of you are lucky. I know only one can go on a blind date, but the best of luck to all the 3 lads. So, see you later. All right. Well, those are our candidates, and here's the girl who'll be voting for just one of them. Isn't it a shame? But her name is Karen, and she comes from Kent. Come in, Karen. Oh, is one of you in for a treat tonight? Karen from Kent.
That's right.
Where do you work, Karen?
I'm a promotions girl.
What do you promote?
Air shows, exhibitions.
Do you like yachts?
Big ones.
I said it once before, I'll say it again. If you're going to have a yacht, have a big one. Well, young lady, you've got 3 questions to ask, so let's not waste time. Shoot away.
I'll ask number 1. I don't like unreliable men. How reliable are you?
Well, I'm very reliable. I would be very reliable on a date, as long as it don't interfere with me snooker, boxing, football. Well, basically social life.
Would you have enough time to take me out?
Oh, I'll fit you in somewhere, yeah, it'd be nice.
Wonderful.
Right, number 2, the same question.
Yes, I'd say I'm very reliable, about as reliable as a digital watch. Looking at mine, it's 4:30 on February the 30th. So I'm about as reliable as my watch, I'd say.
Whoa. How would you feel if I was unreliable?
Well, I don't think I'd mind, as long as you turned up eventually. Be it next week, next year. I'm not really bothered.
Are we boring you, number 2? Keep really bothered.
And number 3.
Are you reliable, number 3?
I am the world's most reliable man. What I need to say, I'm always late. Wherever I go, whoever I meet, I'm always late. But for you, I'd make the exception.
You'd be very late.
Right, my next question, I'll go to number 3. How would you feel if you found out I was a traffic warden?
I love the traffic warden's uniform. I really do adore those flat black shoes, the black stockings, and the Kinky Pete caps.
You're like me, then. And number 2.
Well, as it happens, I like traffic wardens. I do genuinely like them, because if it wasn't for them sticking tickets on my car with bits of sellotape, it would have fallen apart years ago.
And number 1.
Well, if you can turn a blind eye to my parking on double yellow lines, I think I'll turn a blind eye to the funny uniform.
My last question is being asked by my mum. If I brought my mum along on our blind date, how would you react? I'm going to ask that. I'm going to ask that to number 2.
Thanks very much. Well, if you brought your mother along on our blind date, I think I'd be very happy to see her, as long as she didn't bring her mother with her and her mother with her.
And number 1.
Taking into consideration it's a blind date and I haven't seen you, I might turn up and like your mum.
Number 3.
He's from Croydon.
How would you feel if I brought my mum along on our blind date?
Why would you want to bring your mother along? Would you not feel safe with me? Could you keep your hands off me? Or don't you trust me?
That's your third and final question, isn't it?
It is.
And it's very, very difficult. Listen, I couldn't choose, but it's up to you. And don't decide yet.
Right.
Come on, Graham.
Well, now, will it be number 1, who's not quite sure whether he'd not rather go out with your mother? Or maybe number 2, who can't even give you the time of day? Or maybe number 3, who's kinky about traffic wardens? The decision is yours.
Karen, I'd hate to be in your shoes and... Well, you've got a happy, smiling face. Have you made your decision yet?
I have.
You
I'm
have?
going to go for number 2. I like a conquest.
You like a what?
I like a conquest.
You like a conquest?
Yeah.
You'll never see a bigger conquest than it. Well, yes. Have you got a sense of humour?
Yes.
No, I only say this because wait till you see the 2 that you turned down. I mean, they're all wonderful, but first of all, you turned down number 3, Karen, and he's Nick from Croydon. What about My goodness me. What a...
Yeah.
What do you think?
Can I change my mind?
No. And you also turned down number 1, and that was Terry from Hertfordshire. But it's your own fault, Karen. No, but he's a salesman and he's got a happy personality and a super smile. You chose number 2, and here he is, Martin from Brighton. You see, Martin, all that big personality came bubbling through, didn't it, Chuck?
It certainly did, Scylla. She chose the best.
Then Karen, first impressions like, you know?
I'll let you know next week.
Well, you've only got one date to go on. We've got several cards here, and, who's going to choose then, Karen?
Looks like it's down to me to make it all wrong.
I know. You're
I'll
lucky.
take the one in the middle.
All right. And what have you got? Where are you going on your blind date?
If I can open it. We're going for a day in Deauville.
Deauville, ooh la la. You know, that's French.
Yeah, I know.
You're going over... You don't sound too happy about that. You're going to spend a blind date over there. What are you going to do? The weather's really incredible, which it will be, hopefully. You're going to spend a day on the beach.
Lovely.
So you'll be able to see him without his shirt on.
It's like a beached whale.
Then in the evening, you're going to one of the casinos.
Ooh.
Have a little flutter on the casino. Oh, please, will you put 10... excuse me. Could you put 10 francs on number 15 for me?
10 francs on number 15, yes.
Please.
I'll remember that, and if it comes up...
And, well, come back next week.
Oh, you want the money?
Will you come back next week and tell us all about it? Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Karen and our Martin. What a lovely... Last week, if you remember, Mandy and Peter chose to go on a rock climbing course. Now, I wonder how they got on. Well, then, hello, you two.
Hi.
Went rock climbing. By the end of it, did you climb up the wall?
Nearly.
Let's see.
We first arrived, we were met by the man who was actually going to teach us how to rock climb, and he was a David Bellamy look-alike. He had 3 enormous, gorgeous dogs with him, which Peter, I think he liked them more than me, actually. He's wrapping his arms around them all day and giving them kisses, you know.
Mandy was very cutely attired, had little pink training shoes and matching nail varnish. Very nice for a walk in the country, but not quite for rock climbing.
Peter was very good at climbing the rocks. He had done it before, but even so, I was very impressed, you know. He did get up there very quickly, really. He got up even better afterwards, after he'd had a few drinks.
Mandy had never been rock climbing. I could tell that when we first arrived there. She sort of peered over the top of the cliff and said, "Don't you use a net?"
Terribly frightened. And he did offer to help me. He was standing at the top of the rock going, "Come on, chickmunk, you can do it." Which put me off. Oh, God, I'll get up there, it kills me.
I did seem to look after the whole day, as it were, and play the macho role, while Mandy was the poor, helpless female in following my footsteps.
He did want to treat me like a damsel in distress. He was sitting on the rocks talking, and he said, "Wouldn't it be great if this snake appeared from behind a rock and was just about to bite you, and I could turn around and bite its head off?" It was rather sick, really, but I think the macho man.
Mandy, although on the surface looks a very quiet girl, underneath it all, she's a bit of a devil. She's got a lively sense of humour, and she enjoys playing practical jokes. Very deceptive, very good fun to be with.
I didn't tell him, but I don't like men who have earrings.
Mandy's best features physically were her eyes. She had very, very pretty eyes.
I suppose he did like to impress not only me, but everybody else around, but I wouldn't say he was a poser or anything like that, really.
Although she appears to be, as I say, a little girl lost from the north and not used to jumping off cliffs, great challenges like that, high living in London, by the end of the day, she could have joined the SAS without any problem at all.
I thought he was being extra nice to me because he knew that we were coming back here to discuss what had gone on, and he wouldn't like me to have said anything bad about him, and all his friends at home would think he was a real wally and really nasty, you know. So he had to be nice to me so I could come back and say nice things.
Peter, what do you think about that last remark? I mean, she said you had to be nice to her because you didn't want to look a wally in front of all your mates, is that right?
Understandably so, I think, because I'd already sussed her out. She looks very, very sweet and pleasant on the outside, but really she's a mixture between sort of Minnie the Minx and E.T., I think.
Yes, you hit him harder. Oh, yes. Actually, I noticed on the filming there, love, that you did have a sort of black eye. I mean, how did you get that?
That was one of the great adventures of the day. Mandy was about 80 to 100 feet up in the air. And she had a little pink foot slipped and a couple of pink nails came off. She just hurtled to the ground, and luckily I dived, caught her underneath, and her elbow came in my eye.
Is this true, Mandy?
Very true, yes.
Oh, so you give him the black eye?
She gave me the black eye.
Oh, give him another belt again to go with it. Oh, but, I mean, did you enjoy being a damsel in distress, as, you know, you described?
I don't think I was a damsel in distress all day. I think I did remarkably
A damsel,
well.
not a damsel. But at the end of the day, when we all get down to it, I mean, are you going to see each other again?
I'm sure we will. I mean, we both got on great together. We shared a lot of the same interests. And I hope we do.
What about you, Chipmunk? That's what he called you.
Not very romantic, is he?
No, it's gross, actually.
I've been called Chipmunk ever since. I don't think he realises my real name.
Ah, but it's very endearing, though. Because he's very good-looking, isn't he, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah. And what do you think about her not liking earrings and things, fellas with earrings?
He'll take it out now.
He's going to take it out?
I'm not going to take it out. I'm going to get a big golder one put in.
Oh, through your nose. Ladies and gentlemen, Mandy and Peter, thank you very much. Well, it's time to take a break now, but don't go too far away because we'll be back in a couple of minutes to see how Patty and Chet got on when they went to have tea with Lord and Lady Montague. And we're going to meet the man who has his pick of one of these three gorgeous girls. So see you later.
Quiet, please. Maps. Thank you, Wayne. Maps, will you hold them a little higher? And the postal orders, where are you? Excellent. Fine. Photo processing, if you don't mind. Where's coins? Coins? Good.
Coin collections, savings, banking, rail cards, pensions, saver stamps. There are over 150 different products and services available from your post office.
149. Wayne, someone's missing.
Even Postman Pat books. Your post office. The more you use us, the more you'll get out of us. Get more out of your post office.
All great chefs are men.
Doesn't mean all men are great chefs.
Saute the mushrooms in butter.
But that's clover.
Clover is churned with cream from fresh milk with added vegetable oil, so you can cook with it, just like butter. There.
I'm sure John and Sheena will be very impressed.
John and Sheena? But I invited Don and Sheila.
Dairy Crest Clover. It's what butter lovers have been waiting for.
What you are about to see will change the way you feel about soup. Because inside every carton of new Four Seasons soup is the fresh taste of nature. Simply snip and pour to enjoy the richness of 5 garden vegetables in a meaty beef stock. Or this smoky blend of lentils and bacon. You'll never feel the same about soup again once you've tried the fresh taste of nature captured in every carton of Four Seasons soup from Cross and Blackwell.
When you go to sleep, don't fall prey to the nighttime terrors like ghouls and specters. And spots. Spots just love the night. But they hate Clearasil because it removes the oil and dirt ordinary washing leaves behind. Clearasil lotion cleanses pore deep with an antibacterial action. And so does Clearasil milk for combination skin. Use their cleansing power mornings and at night, and you'll help prevent spots going bump in the night.
There's a taste of lean cuisine, tempting taste of lean cuisine.
12 great-tasting dishes. Lean because we've cut down on fat. Cuisine because you demand more taste.
Great-tasting cooking, good-looking.
Findus Lean Cuisine.
To Blind Date. Now, here's a piece of very cynical advice. If you're bored with yourself, get married and be bored with somebody else. Enough of that. Let's go and meet our three girls, one of whom will be soon meeting the new man in her life. And here they are. Hello, girls. Would you like to tell everybody your name and where you come from?
My name's Helen and I'm from Staffordshire.
Are you really? Helen from Staffordshire. Helen, have you got a job?
Yes. I work in a chemical company in a purchasing department buying raw materials.
Really? That sounds very interesting.
It is.
Well, when you're not buying raw materials, what do you like to do in your spare time?
Well, I do dancing and karate. And I've just started weight training.
Have you? Dancing, karate and weight training all at the same time?
No, separately. I couldn't do them.
You could go on the floor for a foxtrot and kill the guy, couldn't you? Enjoy tonight's show. What about you, number 2? What's your name and where do you come from?
My name is Sally and I come from Devon.
You know, Devon, one of my favourite places in this country. Oh, aren't you lucky to come from there?
It's beautiful.
What do you do there?
I'm a hairdresser.
Oh, I could tell. I could tell. You're in your hairdressers today. Yes. What do you do in your spare time when you're not sort of putting rollers in and sort of...
I do quite a lot of keep fit and I do weight training as well.
You like that? I mean, it's hard work, though, isn't it?
It's good fun, though. Go and see all the men.
Oh, is that why you go? Yeah. We'll have a lot of fun on tonight's show, and I know you'll enjoy it, and your hair's lovely. What about you, number 3?
My name's Sam, and I'm from East London.
Oh, hi, Sam. Sam from East London. And do you like weight training and keep fit and karate?
If I had the time, but with my job, I don't really get the time.
What is your job, love?
I'm a student nurse in my final year.
Oh, that's a lovely job. Yeah, very good. If it were up to me, you'd have a pay rise every 5 minutes. Oh, you're worth your weight in gold, you are. And have you ever fallen in love with one of your patients or anything like that?
Not really, no.
No.
I haven't come across that problem yet.
Well, what do you look for when you're looking for your ideal mate?
He's got to be over 6 foot. And he's got to be quite broad, and he's got to have lots of hair. I like lots of hair.
Oh, you don't want much, do you? Well, we'll try and accommodate you on tonight's show. Of course, only one of you can be chosen, but may the best girl win, all right? Enjoy it. See you later. Well, those are our girls, so let's meet the man who has the happy job of choosing one of them. Now, his name is Steve, and he comes from Basingstoke. Come in, Steve. He's blonde. Oh, Steve, how are you?
Fine, thanks.
Have you got a job, Steve?
Yes, I'm a builder.
A builder?
Yes, I work for my grandfather.
Oh.
He's the actual governor, so...
So he's the governor. I mean, do you enjoy your job, though?
Yes, I do. It's very enjoyable. We do lots of different things as well.
And it's hard work, and it builds up your...
Oh,
he's got muscles as well. He's got muscles as well. Yes, you're blonde, you've got muscles, and you've also got 3 questions to ask those girls.
Yes, that's right.
Can't wait. Can you? Off you go, Steve.
Right. Number 1. One day I'm going to build myself a house. If you were going to build a house, What special features would you include in it?
Well, I'd like it to have a luxurious bathroom, and in this bathroom I'd like a rather large bath. And in the middle I would like a plug hole, because if it's around the outside, you always have difficulty sitting down somewhere convenient.
Yes.
She always sits on the plug hole.
She's at the end with the taps. Number 2, please.
Well, as I'm into keep fit, I'd really like an ensuite gym with a solarium and jacuzzi. But seeing it's you, I'd really like an ensuite Steve.
You don't get too weak yet. You've got to ask number 3, haven't you?
Well, I don't know now. Number 3, please.
Well, when my father built our house, he had a swimming pool built in the back garden. So, considering it's like I've been accustomed to it, I'd need at least one swimming pool.
She likes men with money.
Yeah. Right. Number 2. The last time you had a row with a man, what was it all about?
Oh, which row? I have a lot of rows, actually. But the reason is because I like kissing and making up.
Everything they say goes, oh. Nice. You enjoying yourself?
Oh, no.
Good. That was number 2.
Number 3, please.
Well, it was when I asked a man to drop his pyjama bottoms and turn over, but then I must add I'm a nurse.
Well, because she's a nurse, you see.
Oh.
She's very quick. Yes, it comes in handy. Especially when she says drop your trousers. You better remind them of what the question is now. This is the number 1, isn't it?
The last time you had a row with a man, what was it all about?
Well, the argument was over who was going to buy the next round, and what happened was he was standing there with a glass in his hand, and I sort of kicked it out of his hand because I do karate, and after that it was my round, of course.
Bit dodgy?
Yeah.
Oh,
Don't
but...
like getting kicked.
Arrange to do anything else you want to do.
Ooh. Oh, that's...
This is your 3rd and final question, lad.
Yes. If we're in the local pub together, you might find that I was speaking rather a lot chatting to my mates. How would you drag me away from them? Number 1.
Well, as you've heard in the last question, I do karate, so I shouldn't think you'd want to leave me in case something accidental happened to you.
Yes, and especially if you refuse to buy her around.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Terrible. Number 2, please.
Well, if you're with me, darling, you wouldn't even notice your mates.
Look at his little face. He's already made up his mind, he said.
Number 3, please.
How would you drag me away?
How would you drag me in?
Was that the reply? Oh, my goodness me.
Well,
she's not
she
worried
hasn't
about
seen my
you.
mates.
She hasn't seen you yet either. Well, they were your 3 questions, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yes, and it's decision time again.
Well, now, will you choose number 1, who gets her kicks out of karate? Or perhaps number 2, whose ideal home is where you could hang your hat, in a jacuzzi? Or perhaps even number 3, who's got a thing about pyjama bottoms? The decision is yours.
Kramer's absolutely right. The decision is yours. Have you made your mind
I've
up?
made my decision, and it's got to be number 2.
What was it that turned you off number 1 and number 3? Karate?
Oh, definitely karate on number 1. Number 3, close.
Close.
Yeah, but number 2.
Well, let's meet the 2 that you turned down. First of all, you turned down number 3, and that was Sam, and she was from East London. Come in, Sam. Sam Arnott. Yes. it's too late now. What a peach. Oh, you also turned down number 1. Her name was Helen, and she's from Staffordshire. She's going to give it a try. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
I think you made up your mind from the first reply, didn't you?
Yeah, I did, definitely.
I know you did. I could tell your little eyes were twinkling. Well, your dream has come true tonight. Here's your blind date. You chose number 2, and she's Sally, and she's from Devon. There you go. Cold water about. Do you know, I could see his little eyes. On the first reply you gave, he couldn't believe his luck, did you, love?
No, it was very nice.
And now that you've seen her in the flesh...
Yes, I'm still impressed. Oh, very impressed.
Oh, isn't that... She's an hairdresser, you know.
Oh, well.
A trim?
Yes, please.
A trim in your place? Who's going to pick the cards? We won't go in.
Definitely the lady.
What?
The lady always
Oh, isn't that nice? He chose you, and he also chose you to pick where you're going on your blind date, so... You want that one?
I do.
It's your own fault. What?
You read it. You read it.
What is it?
We have to go.
What do you mean we have to go? That's nice. Think, a day out at Greenwich. Actually, it is nice. These are all ruse, all these things, because you know what you're going to do. You're going to have your own private motor launch.
Mm-hmm.
And the way you come back is unbelievable. You're going to fly back by helicopter.
I always wanted to go in a helicopter. Oh, wow.
I hate them. But it'll be a lot of fun. I know it'll be a lot of fun. Are you going to enjoy yourselves?
I'm going to enjoy yourself.
I know you will. I have a feeling. I can feel this, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to get on, aren't they? Oh, will you come back next week?
Oh, definitely.
Oh, please do. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve and Sally. See you next week. When they twinkle with each other, I just know that they're going to get on. I bet I'm wrong. But let's find out now what happened when Patty and Chet went on their date to Bewley. That would have been a date I would have loved to have gone on. I really would. Did you enjoy it?
Great.
It was super.
Well, let's see how much.
She wasn't at all like I'd expected she would be. She looked like she had a lot more intelligence than the sort of woman that I would expect to go on a blind date.
Thanking me for picking him, which I thought was really sweet. I mean, I was quite happy with him. We were having a really nice day, but he kept saying, sort of patting me on the shoulder and saying, I'm really glad you picked me, and I think we've had a really great day out. Really a day to remember, and thanks so much for picking me.
And we were driven from the station to Bewley stately home in an open-top Rolls-Royce. We felt rather like royalty. It was quite a treat, that was.
And there were two boys about 13 or 14 at the side of the road, and as we drove past, one of them yelled out, fascists! We just collapsed, because, we don't normally ride down in Rolls-Royces either.
There was an opportunity to drive an old Chevrolet, and you drive it round an obstacle track.
I had a bit of trouble with the clutch, and it was kangarooing all over the place, but Chet was very nice about it. I mean, a lot of people, I think, would have been standing on the sidelines making acid comments about women drivers, but it was all right.
I don't know how she drives modern cars, but if it's anything like she was driving the vintage car, first of all, then I think I'd steer well clear.
I think he was showing off a bit, actually, because we went careering round, and the chap was calling out to him to slow down.
You have a monorail which takes you round the sites at Bewley, and that actually goes through the Vintage Motor Museum.
Chet insisted on screaming out the window and sort of going, yeah! So absolutely mortified. I thought, God, he was behaving like an American tourist.
And we were introduced to Lord and Lady Montague, where we shook hands, and the public thought that we were royalty. They must have done. I was absolutely dying with embarrassment at the time.
And Chet sort of talking through his teeth, like, God, I'm so embarrassed. I've never been so embarrassed in my life.
Lord Montague actually asked me if the other two contestants were disappointed when they weren't picked.
So Chet sort of looked like butter wouldn't melt in his mouth and said, well, they were very disappointed when they saw Patty. So everybody went, ooh.
Patty's best points were she's intelligent. She's got a point of view on most subjects, and she's great fun to spend the day with.
He was a little loud sometimes, and he was a great one for making jokes and sort of slapping his thigh and having a great laugh about it.
Patty and I had a lot in common. We seemed to get on very well. She was intelligent, fun-loving, just my kind of girl, really.
We're both very interested in sailing, so if he were to take me off on some wonderful sailing trips and keep buying me champagne, well, anything could happen.
I heard you say under your breath, oh, well, that wasn't too bad. What about this sailing thing? Have you taken the sailing yet?
Haven't had a chance yet. No, not yet.
Are you going to take a sailing?
Yes.
I'm good at navigating.
Yes, brilliant.
What about, Patty, you went on all... You said a lot through that interview, what you did during the day, but, you never really said what you really felt about him.
Oh.
How do you really feel about him?
He was great fun to be with.
Yes?
Yes. We had a lovely day out. I was very happy I chose him. He was really good fun to spend the day with. He was a bit loud. I don't think I'd like to get drunk with him because I think he'd get unbearable after a few drinks.
You're a bit loud. How do you feel about that?
It has been said in the past.
How did you enjoy these trips in the cars in the museum?
Well, we went on, I think, every single form of transport that man's invented. We went on the vintage Rolls-Royce, we went on a double-decker vintage bus, on the monorail. We had Lord Bewley's MM1 licence plate Daimler. It was fantastic, wasn't it, really, Patty? It was a great day out.
You both enjoyed the cars. Did you enjoy the museum?
Oh, great fun, yeah. It was such a treat to be able to go in them. And at one point we were walking around the museum and we were allowed to climb into all these cars and had our photograph taken all the time and driving these Aston Martins and things. And some tourist asked there was an old man showing us around, and some tourist said, oh, can we get in there as well? And he said, oh, no, these two are special guests of Cilla Black's.
I feel like royalty myself, but you didn't enjoy being treated like royal. You found it very embarrassing.
Yeah, I'm not easily embarrassed, but that was terrible. I felt like dying that day. That was awful. Yeah,
even with your Princess Patty at your side.
Really.
No, Patty
well, are you
revelled in
going to take her out again? She desperately wants to go sailing with lots of champagne, so...
If you're any good at navigating, there's a place there, because the last time I sailed, I went to France and I got lost. So you can come along and do navigation. But, yeah, we'll have lunch.
Well,
we'll have lunch.
You ended up in the Caribbean, I don't mind.
Ladies and gentlemen, Patty and Chet, thanks a lot. Us again, but never fear. Scylla will be here next week. We'll be back next week to see how Karen and Martin and Steve and Sally got on. And, of course, there'll be lots more blind dates. So please join us, please. Until then, ta-ra, everyone. Ta-ra.
Blind Date. And here is your host, Miss Cilla Black.
Indeed. Good evening and welcome to Blind Date. Do you know Shakespeare said, love is blind and lovers cannot see? I wonder if he was talking about the show. What do you think? No, he couldn't be. Anyway, we've got our first 3 hopefuls waiting over there, so let's go and meet them. Come on.
Hi, sir.
Just talk amongst yourself for all that. Hello, number 1. Tell me your name and where you come from.
My name's Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Hi, Cilla.
Hi.
I come from York.
You come from York?
Well, I come from Newcastle originally, but I live in York.
And you know, at this point, Paul, I always say, you know what you do for a living, but I know what you do. I can feel your muscles. See that lovely long
What
yes, you're a bikie.
What?
A bikie.
Bikie.
Yeah. What do you do for a living?
I'm a hairdresser.
Oh, Paul.
You were close.
You look like that one in the advert, you know, for the air spray. Is he or isn't he? We're all dying to know. Are you?
I'll tell you later.
Oh, well, I'll do that one, Paul. What about you, number 2? What's your name and where do you come from?
My name's Robin and I'm from near Derby.
Robin from Derby. Now, Robin, I hear you like football, is that right?
That's right. Play on Sundays and watch on Saturdays.
You do? What team do you watch when you watch? Who do you support?
Although I live near Derby, I was brought up near Nottingham, so I watch Nottingham Forest.
Oh, you do? Is that fella, what's his name, Cloughie?
Brian Clough, yes.
Is he still looking after them?
He's doing quite well, yes.
Oh, is he? Oh, really? Not as well as Liverpool, though, is he?
No.
Passing swiftly on to you, number 3. What's your name and where do you come from?
My name's Rupert.
My little Rupert. No, he's a sweetheart, I know, because all of these, I mean, you're ancient used to these. He's the baby of the bunch. Talking about ladies, which we weren't, I mean, what do you look for in your ideal woman?
Blonde hair. I like girls with blonde hair, yeah. And about 5'8".
That only leaves your mother then, doesn't it? Rupert, my little lamb, and all the other lads as well, the 3 lads, I wish you all a lot of luck. One thing's for sure, you will enjoy tonight's show. I'll see you all later, all right? See you in a mo. Well, now you've met our 3 fellas. Why don't we meet the girl who has to choose one of them? She's Debbie, and she's from Newcastle. Come in, Debbie. Hi, Debs.
Hello, Cilla.
Oh, now, Debs, I know an awful lot about you because, I mean, you've travelled a fair lot in your very short life, haven't you?
Not so short.
But you've lived a part of your life in Barbados, isn't that right?
That's right. I was actually there for quite a while. Brilliant place if anyone wants to go for a holiday. Really terrific.
Yes,
You should go there.
I've been to Barbados. Well, I loved it, yes. Couldn't afford to go the second time.
I know.
I've still got 3 kids as well, you know. They're a handful. Are you looking forward to tonight's show?
Yeah.
Well, you've got 3 questions to ask 3 very beautiful fellas beyond those screens, so fire away, Debbie.
Right, well, my first question
I'd like to direct to number 2. And that is, I love horse racing. If you were in my stable, why would you be my favorite horse?
Did you know that number
Yes,
2?
I
Shocked and stunned.
Right, if I was in your stable, I don't think you could help but notice me. I'd be a thoroughbred, very well groomed, and if you don't choose me, I think you'd be looking a gift horse in the mouth.
Right, can I pose that question now to number 1?
Right. I'm fast, muscular, with plenty of staying power. And I think you'd like to run your fingers through me long mane.
And number 3?
You'd like me because I'm a frisky little colt. And if you don't believe me, why don't you try me for early morning cancer?
Sweet.
Number 2, okay. I think I'll put this one to number 1. If you were my father, how would you feel about going out with a man like you?
I think I'd be delighted, actually. I'd probably give you me chauffeur-driven Rolls-Royce for this evening in me Gold American Express card and say, have a nice time.
Oh, no expenses, huh?
Well, you're only young once, you know? I mean, you have to...
That's right.
I think so.
What about number 3?
What I'd do is, if your father's rich and good-looking, then you'd have a good boyfriend, and he'll be the same as your father then.
Not bad at all.
Okay. What about number 2?
Well, speaking as your father, and as you probably know, fathers are probably very truthful and honest, I'd sort of describe Robin. I'd say, well, Robin's fairly attractive, very desirable, irresistible, and warn you never to go out with him again.
Oh, naughty number 2. Don't believe a word he said.
How can I refuse him? Oh, my gosh.
Don't make your mind up yet, because you've got one more
Absolutely
question.
not. No, absolutely not. Okay, my last question is that I've lived in Barbados for 14 years, and I really love the music there. Could you please sing me a short calypso to tell me something about you?
Who's that to?
And that's to number 2.
Oh, you're on number 2.
A calypso, right. Right, yeah. I can't quite think of the right tune to go with it, but the lyrics, the words would go something like this. Off the top of my head, I live in Derby and I work for Rolls-Royce. I may have no voice, but I make an ideal choice.
He's a poet and doesn't know it.
What about number 1?
Go on, number 1. I'm looking forward to this.
Give you a song.
Yes, please.
Please.
I think we'll go something like da 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 da. Come with me and play my maracas.
This is a family show. There's more. There's more. There's more. Come on.
And the other bit is da da da. If you don't choose me, you must be crackers.
I'm getting the vapors now.
Number 3. Sing me a calypso.
Okay.
Just a little one.
It would be. It would go like this. I'm tall, I'm blonde, and about as cute as anyone you'll find in the world of computers.
That's a calypso.
Give me more time, I'll show you.
there's the 3 questions. But please don't make your mind up yet, Debbie, because you're going to get a few quick reminders from Graham. Have a listen to this.
Now, will it be number 1, who's just crackers about maracas? Or perhaps number 2, who your father would find irresistible? Or maybe even number 3, who sees himself as a frisky difficult and hopes you won't say nay? The decision is yours.
Debbie, the decision is mine. Yes, definitely yours. Yeah, Graham, have you made your mind up?
I think I'd go for number 2.
Well, we'll find out whether it's a good choice. So, but first of all, you're going to meet the 2 that you turned down, Debbie.
Can I cope?
Not with number 1, but with number 2. No, you turned down 2 lovely people. My favourite was, I'm not going to tell you who my favourite was, but you turned down number 3, and that was Rupert from Surrey. Come in, Rupert. Little Rupert.
Okay, next week.
Oh.
Bye-bye.
Bye. I'll give my love to your mother. Debbie, you also turned down number 1. Number 1 was Paul, and he was from York. Come in, Paul.
I'll let you have a little play later, son.
You will.
Promise.
That's unrepeatable, Paul. I can't tell them that. See you later, Paul. Debbie, you looking forward to it? Mm-hmm. Gosh, I hope so. Because you chose number 2, and that was Robin from Derby. Well, what do you think, Debbie? Did you make the right choice?
I think so. I think we'll have a pretty good day.
Yes, I hope so,
I think
too.
we'll have a pretty good day.
Come on, Debbie.
I think I'll pick this one.
Oh, you open it. You chose it. You open it, Debbie.
A trip to Jersey.
Mind you, Jersey is beautiful. For anybody out there, I've been several times. It's a beautiful island.
Is it going to be romantic for us?
Well, I don't know. That's up to you.
We'll have to...
Yes. One thing about it, you're going to have a lot of sightseeing to do,
Right.
and lots of food, lots of wine, and lots of...
I can handle that, can you?
I'm sure you'll show me how.
Oh. Well, when she shows you how, will you come back and show us how you did it next week? Please do. Ladies and gentlemen, Debbie and Robin. See you next week. Well, last week, Karen and Martin flew off to Deauville for the day. So let's see how they enjoyed themselves. Well, Karen and Martin, a lovely day out in Deauville. Let's find out if your entente was cordial.
I wish I'd picked one of the other guys. I also told him to have a good day. I thought he probably looked quite good fun. But he did look a bit of a wally.
Coming out to the car, she looked fantastic. She was in this peach sort of slinky dress. I'll never ever know how she got into it. She looked great.
I had this quite tight dress on, and Martin kept walking behind me, sort of making funny jokes about my rear.
All day long I've been admiring how nice her long, shiny red manicured nails were. And one thing happened in the casino which made me laugh. I don't think she was too pleased when she put her hand on the roulette table and this nail just sort of flew off into the distance and it gone forever. And underneath there was just this white stub-chewed nail.
It's quite entertaining on the beach because Martin spent all the time comparing all the ladies, the topless ladies, with Samantha Fox, while I was sweetly eyeing up all the French hunks.
There were some other girls on the beach, but I didn't really need to look at them because I
tried to tell lots of funny jokes throughout the day that weren't very funny, so I didn't laugh.
laughed all night. And also the conversation was very good. We was never at a loss for things to say.
He was a nice guy, very chatty, and he had a lot of front in more ways than one.
I don't think the type of man she'd normally go for. She seems to be more the sort of girl that would go for a hunky builder type. Someone with a name like Pat or Fred or Bill. An overweight businessman called Martin, like myself.
Oh, Karen, you gave him some stick there, didn't you? I mean, do you really think he's... Well, he described himself as an overweight businessman. Do you really think he looks that type?
Well, he did a couple of weeks ago. He's been on a diet since then, so... It's getting there.
It's going.
Have you been on a diet, Martin?
I have been on a diet.
And you look well. You look terrific.
Thank you very much.
We must swap diets later
I've lost
on.
about a stone.
Have you really?
In a week.
Is it the worry of coming back on the show, do you think?
No, it's a starvation diet. Just don't eat at all. Just live on fluid.
How do you feel now?
Hungry.
And that was very... Just to remind you, I mean, by the way, do you have... I mean, I'm sure it was the one nail that you'd broken that day and you replaced it with a false one. Am I right, Karen?
That's right, yes. I've had such a bad week, I've just bitten them all off.
But that was very ungentlemanly of you to sort of tell that story on the telly.
Well, I like to say something about it. It's the only thing I could think of that wasn't nice.
No. Now, tell me, are you both going to see each other again?
Well, I'd like to think that if Karen comes down to Brighton, my hometown, she'd always give me a tinkle and we can go out for a drink. Yeah, sure. But I don't think we'd be seeing each other romantically.
Ah. Are you going to give him a tinkle?
You never know, maybe.
But you will stay friends?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, I should hope so, yeah.
Will you send each other birthday cards?
Probably a Valentine's card.
Will you send him a Valentine's card?
She hasn't got my address.
Every time I ask Karen a question, she goes... Ladies and gentlemen, Martin and Karen. Well, it's time to take a break now, but we'll be back in a couple of minutes to find out how our other couple from last week, Steve and Sally, got on at Greenwich, and to meet the man waiting to choose one of these three lovely ladies. So see you later.
When Gyrobank put the newest British bank on the high street, they said, let's keep all the branches open all day and Saturday mornings. Can't be bad, I said. So they put Gyrobank services in all the post offices, even the ones abroad. And why keep customers waiting a month or 3 for a statement? Gyrobank will send one every time money's paid in. That's the way to do it, I said. Then Gyrobank invented an easier way to pay household bills, followed by the cheapest form of free banking around. You only pay charges for the days you're in the red and not a day longer. Well, fair enough, I said. But what about Visa cards, check cards and cash cards? Simple, they said. Just ask for them straight from home, and that goes for travellers' checks and even personal loans. From home. Now, that is the way to do it. But how will people know which leaflet to pick up at the post office, they ask? Put the star of the commercial on it, I said.
National Gyrobank. It's simply more convenient.
What's the score down there?
Germany won 12-0.
Nothing wrong with the set, is there?
What's wrong is you winkle betting our Alston pills with that U-boat crew. Still, why can't we send them down to draft lager instead?
No reason at all, as far as I can see.
We've been rumbled. They know most of the sugar turns to alcohol in Holston Pills. Open fire!
That was a mistake, bringing on their sub.
A Holston Pills production.
When you bake with certain cheaper flours, you may find the results a little on the heavy side. So when it's lightness you're after, people who really care about their baking only use McDougall's. McDougall's. It'll bring your baking on in leaps and bounds.
The supreme champion at Crufts 1986, Airedale Terrier Ginger Christmas Carol. Like so many of Britain's outstanding dogs, she's fed on Pedigree Chum and Pedigree Chum Mixer. Pedigree Chum nourishment, firm and meaty through and through.
Emma won Best in Show at Crufts, which was absolutely amazing. And she couldn't have done that without the help of good food.
Pedigree Chum. No wonder top breeders recommend it.
If you're interested in how much fat you eat, here are 2 ways to eat sausages with half the fat of ordinary sausages. One is to eat Bowyer's low-fat sausages made with half the fat and extra lean pork. The other is to eat half the ordinary sausages.
Bowyer's low-fat sausages, available fresh and frozen.
That was just for 1 cup of tea. I use Typhoo 1 cup, because every bag makes 1 perfect cup.
Typhoo 1 cup really does mean better value in your cup.
Blind date. Now, here's a piece of useful advice for all you girls looking for an husband. Why don't you choose an archaeologist? Because the older you get, he'll love you more. Come on, let's see if our 3 girls agree. They're over here, ready and waiting. You are a sight for sore eyes, you are indeed. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Cilla.
Would you like to tell everybody at home what your name is and where you come from?
My name is Mary. I come from Bournemouth.
Now, it's not Mary from the dairy, is it? No. What, you retired now, but what job did you do?
I was a linen keeper in the first-class hotels in Bournemouth.
Really?
Yes.
And I bet you did your jobs well, didn't you?
Yes.
Are you going to have fun on tonight's show?
I hope.
Oh, you will, especially if you get picked. What about you, number 2? What's your name and where do you come from?
I'm called Evie, and I come from Paynton in Devon.
Now, Evie, tell us about your hobbies. What do you like doing? Do you have any spare time?
Not much, because I do a lot of charity work and belong to a club, and I fill my time that way in gardening and things that I don't like doing, housework.
Oh, no, we don't like doing housework, do we, girls? Nobody likes doing housework, so Evie, you're not alone. What about you? Last but definitely not least, number 3.
I'm Liz, and I come from London.
Are you retired, Liz, or are you still working, love?
No, I'm doing part-time in a cafe.
In a cafe? Well, you can serve our chaps any time you could. All right, girls, just sit back, relax, and enjoy yourselves, and I shall be back in a mo, all right?
Yeah.
See you later, then. I am looking forward to this. So let's meet the lucky man who has to pick the best out of 3. And his name is Gerald, and he's from North Wales. Come in, Gerald. Oh, Gerald. Are you in for a treat tonight, Gerald?
I hope so.
But not just yet. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Gerald. Now, you are retired, I know that.
Yes, I'm retired, and I've got a very nice home. That's just in case the ladies are listening, you see. I'm quite a good cook. Well, they tell me so.
Who tells you so?
Well, the ladies are entertained.
Oh, hey, he's a bit fast, girls. How many ladies have you got, Gerald?
Well, I took 3 out last week. I took them all together.
Oh, you did? You don't need blind date. You've got a harem. Well, I know it's going to be very exciting for you tonight. Indeed, it's going to be very exciting for the young lady you're going to pick.
Good.
Now, you've got 3 questions to ask those ladies beyond those screens, and in your own time, Gerald, why don't you fire away some?
Well, that's an idea, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, I'll ask number 1 first, I think. And I'd like to know how she would react if a man she'd invited to dinner walked straight through into the kitchen and insisted on cooking the meal.
Well, I should say, keep out of the kitchen, but you can come back and do the washing up.
If you were so unkind as to keep me out of your kitchen, well, how would you feel then if I turned around and said I'm a vegetarian and you knew you got that lovely great big piece of beef there?
Well, I always cook plenty of vegetables besides the meat.
And what about afters?
Oh, I got plenty of afters.
This was a good idea or not. Now, that was number 1. Remember that, Gerald.
Well, I think I'll ask the same question to number 2. How would she react?
Well, I think I'd say thank you very much and let him get on into the kitchen. And I'd sit down and have some wine and wait for the dinner to be cooked.
I hope you'd leave a glass full for the chef, would you?
Yes.
Or 2 glasses.
Yes.
Number 3.
No, I wouldn't like that, because I'd invited you and already cooked it. So I would say, well, if you want my food, take my food. If not, we'll go back to your place. So haven't you got a kitchen?
You know, you sound so capable that I'm almost inclined to think that you'd be very welcome into my kitchen.
Thank you.
We could be here forever, you know, Gerald. You've got 2 more questions
well,
to
I'd
ask.
better get on to the next one. And this comes back really to the question of drink, you see. What is their favourite drink, and how many does it take to make them a little bit merry, you know? I'll ask that question to number 2.
Number 2, how long does it take you to get sozzled?
Well, I think my favourite drink is a good white wine. And, well, a couple of glasses, I'd be merry.
You too? Well, you'd be cheap to take out.
Yes.
Number 1.
Oh, dear.
What is your favourite drink, and how many do you take?
Well, I like a muscatel wine, what my father taught me to like. But I don't have to have many to get merry.
You don't go in for the dry ones so much?
No, I don't like dry wine.
No.
Gives me indigestion.
Number 3, what's your
Number 3,
favourite
what's
tipple?
your favourite drink?
Sweet sparkling wine. Champagne, preferably. But I like any sweet white wine. And before you answer, yes, a bottle. Before I get on.
Well, it sounds to me, Stella, as if none of them are the half a mile and better. Are they?
Don't make your mind up yet, because
No.
you see, you've got one more question to ask, you see, Gerald.
Yes.
And this might turn the tables on the whole thing.
It might,
Yes.
Well, I love gardening. And what would you look forward to most if I took you for a walk around my garden? Number 3.
Well, I do love gardening. Yes, I do. I love anything green. And I'd like to invite him to my garden because I live 15 flights up and I've got an indoor garden. I climb from the kitchen to the lounge to the bedroom.
Aren't we glad you never made up your mind too quick? That was number 3.
Number 2.
Well, I think what I'd look forward to most would be going inside and opening the bottle of wine.
Number 1.
Well, how big a garden have you got?
Well, it's just average size, really. It's not an estate, don't think that.
Oh, any flowers?
Oh, yes. A few flowers.
Only a few?
Well, 2 lawns you can always mow if you feel like
My own.
She's got 2 lawns herself,
got 2
Gerald.
lawns herself.
Yes.
Sounds to me as if I've got a very good choice.
Very, very delightful. A lot of varied answers to all your questions, don't you think?
Yes.
Have a listen to this.
Now, will you choose contestant number 1, who would welcome you into her kitchen, as long as you did the washing up? Or contestant number 2, who'd rather you didn't lead her up your garden path? Or will it be number 3, whose choice of wine is like herself, sweet and fruity? The decision, Gerald, is yours.
I'll choose number 2.
Oh, you will?
I'll choose number 2.
Well, before you meet the girl of your dreams, I think you should say hello to the 2 beautiful ladies who you turned down. And first of all, Gerald, you turned down number 3, and that was Liz from London. What a beauty this lady is. Come in, Liz. Look at what you turned down.
Sorry, Liz.
See you later, Liz. What a beauty. Look at the beauty. You also turned down number 1, and that was Mary from Bournemouth. Come in, Mary.
I only wish I'd been able to choose all 3 of you.
Yes.
I really would.
Oh, Mary, thanks for coming on the
Thank
show.
you for asking me.
See you later,
Yes.
love, all right? Well, the lady of your choice is waiting beyond those screens for you, Gerald. So for better or for worse.
I'll say it once.
You never know, you might be saying it again. With a lot of luck. You chose number 2, and that was our Evie from Paynton. Come in, Evie. Gerald, what do you think of our Evie here?
Well, I think I made a good choice.
Evie, what do you think about our Gerald saying that he takes all these ladies out?
Well, I'm a bit frightened. I'm getting
I believe in safety in numbers.
I see.
Oh, all right, Evie.
Yes.
Ready to go on your blind date?
Oh, yes.
Are you ready to find out where, though? Mm-hmm. Can you swim?
No.
I hope you don't...
A day trip to France if you can swim, is it?
No, it's water skiing on the River Mersey. Yes. Oh, dear.
I'm happy to read it,
Gerald.
but I haven't got my glasses.
You can't read it. What does it say, Gerald?
Putting on the Ritz.
Let me explain this. You certainly are. You certainly are going to be putting on the Ritz. Do you like dancing?
Well, I have 2 left feet. I don't know how you do it that way.
Do you like good food?
I like good food.
Well, you are going to that swishy hotel in London, the Ritz Hotel. And also you're going to take in a West End show.
Oh, wonderful.
So you're really going to put on the Ritz.
Oh, thank you very much.
And listen, all I ask you both... The only thing we ask of you both is to come back next week and tell us all about it. Will you do that?
Yes.
All right, Evie?
By all means, yes.
Have a lot of fun. See you next week. Ladies and gentlemen, Gerald and Evie. Well, last week, Steve and Sally went down the river to spend a day at Greenwich. Let's see what sort of a mean time they had. Mean time. Well, Sally and Steve, super photographs. But I wonder, will you be talking to each other after this?
He was very nice, he was very gentlemanly. He opened car doors and carried my bags for me, but I found it a little bit too much. It was a little bit too overpowering, and he tended to touch me rather too much. He kept touching my bum.
Joe gives Sally a peck on the cheek, but every time I give her a peck on the cheek, I hit her ear, and she said, "Mind my ears, mind my ears." But I don't know what was wrong with her ears.
When we got to Greenwich, he carried me off the boat, which was very nice, very romantic. But I think I must have been a bit heavy for him because I felt it was need to go.
I really did my back in. I'm not saying at all, but she did do my back in. But old Sally was too all worried about her dress blowing up than my back.
He tended to follow me around rather a lot. And I wanted to do my own thing, really, look around the shops, antique shops and things like that, which were interested me anyway. But he tended to, every time I turned around, he was there, tended to follow me around quite a bit.
She just didn't, you know, fit in with the day romantically. It was just a day out and enjoy everything around you, apart from poor old Stevie.
I was really looking forward to the helicopter ride, but when we got there, I found I was quite nervous. But Steve's ever-ready, reassuring arm was there to comfort me and to... like it always is.
Yeah, Sally was a terrific girl. She was colourful, bright, really cheerful, and we had a great day out, but she just one peck on the cheek is not good enough.
When I was in the hairdresser, I couldn't help noticing one thing about Steve, that although he was blonde, he wasn't a natural blonde. So, girls, he's not natural, OK? It's bleach.
On the show, I asked Sally how would she get me away from my mates in the local pub, and she said, if you were with me, I wouldn't need to drag you away because you'd be with me all the time. But I think next time we were on the blind date, my mates are coming with me.
Sally. I mean, it was a date. You said every time you turned round, he was there. What do you expect? What did you expect when you went out on this date?
Just a day out, really.
But what about him, though?
Yeah. I mean, he's lovely. He's lovely.
He's not an antique, I know, but you know. I notice now that you're sort of holding hands. Why did you want to touch your bum all day?
I was trying to catch her.
Oh, that was it. you see, because you wanted to be on your Todd and he was trying to catch you, and the obvious place to catch you by was your bum. But now he's got you by the hand and he's keeping hold of it quite tight. Does that mean that you're not going to let her go?
Well, I'd like to see her again anyway.
She was a bit rude about your
She
hair.
was rude.
Yeah. What's your real coloured hair then? Oh, she'll tell us. Because you're the hairdresser, aren't you?
A dark blonde. Yeah.
If he dyes as a dark blonde, blackish, would you... Well, tell him what colour you want him, then he'll go out with you again.
He's lovely just the way he is, honest.
So you're all going to see each other again?
Hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too. Definitely.
Isn't that nice? Have you enjoyed your blind date?
It's been excellent. It's been really nice.
Well, we've all enjoyed having you here in the studio, haven't we, ladies and gentlemen? Steve and Sally. Well, it's time to say goodbye now for this week. But do join us again next week to see what sort of a day Debbie and Robin and Gerald and Evie had. And we'll have even some more blind dates. So until then, ta-ra then, ta-ra!